This book had me at the beginning. The middle was amazing, but the ending really flunked. I want to talk today about Never After by Alexis Hall. A story that takes place in Old England, and no, not medieval England with knights and dragons and all that kind of stuff. But instead, I want to talk about England during the era of such monarchs as Queen Victoria. Now, before I continue, let me go ahead and warn you, this book is definitely not for children. It is a gay adult romance book with open door heat scenes. So, if this is not your thing, you might want to click off on the video. Now, Never After is the story about Micah, a young man who is a gentleman of the night, if you get my drift, who struggles with an addiction and can't seem to give it up because it's the only thing that allows him to relive his memories with the man he loved the most. That is until he meets Thomas, a well-respected pastor and a man who believes in helping those in need, including Micah. Now, the story, like I said, is pretty good at the beginning and the middle, but the ending kind of flopped. But to get there, we need to discuss the book in full. First of all, let's talk about the characters. Micah is kind of a flat character, in my opinion. Micah's only drive is honestly to get more of his addiction. And when it changes, it really doesn't feel like he's changing from that, but more so he has a new addiction, which is Thomas. Micah is really hung up on the past, and you can definitely tell that by the first two sections of the book. But by the third section of the book and the final part, Micah doesn't really feel like he's a rounded out character. He feels like he's not stuck in the past, but that he instead is kind of stuck in a limbo situation where he's willing to sacrifice what he wants for those he loves, something old Micah would never do. But at the same time, he kind of, I don't know, it's a weird situation. But needless to say, I didn't care for Micah as a character. I think he is relatable to some people out there, in more ways than one, mind you. I feel like Micah can be relatable to those who don't want to give up the past due to hurt of the present and fear of the future. But for me, he wasn't relatable, and I honestly didn't care for Micah. Now, Thomas is a man of conviction who has that conviction haunting him constantly. Thomas is also the son of I don't even know the word, a viscount, I think is the word, who never wanted Thomas to begin with, and only puts up with him because he's a twin. He wanted 2 sons, not 3. But, you know, life happens. Thomas's older brother, twin, is kind of a jerk. But Thomas wants to see the good in him, as he constantly tries to see the good in everyone around him, including Micah. Now, at first, Thomas is completely blinded by his need to help Micah, but he quickly realizes there's something else there. He has feelings for Micah, but he doesn't want to act on them because, well, he's a priest. And he's not sure if Micah would approve of that. And due to the time period where this book takes place, these kind of feelings could get you arrested or worse. So it's pretty dangerous to have the kind of feelings that Thomas has. Mind you, at first he has no idea what Micah's past, but I feel like when he finds out, it was kind of flat. It didn't really delve into it, and Thomas never really brings it up, which was kind of weird. So yeah, and Thomas's conviction kind of gets confusing at the end. I won't lie, I was a little confused on what they decided to do, and it really didn't allow me to comprehend anything about it, which really ruined the book. Now, the setting of this book, as I said, is Old England, Victorian England possibly, and we have two locations. We have London, most famously Whitechapel, which of course is notorious for the Jack the Ripper unalivings. And of course, it was well known for an area for those who walked the night. Again, if you get my drift. Now, after that, we get this luscious countryside that, despite its luscious description, kind of felt flat as heck and didn't have enough detail to really make it feel alive. In all honesty, the setting kind of felt bland and lifeless. Now, we do get some background characters, I want to say. I'll get more into that later on, but you really felt like they would bring to life the small town. They don't. Now, the writing style of this book. I kind of like and kind of hate the writing style. Because this book takes place in Old England, the writing style fits that time period. It uses a lot of Old English words, a lot of Old English phrasing, and honestly, as someone who doesn't know about that stuff, it kind of was hard to comprehend. I do love the book. Its author, Alexis Hall, was very, very studied and well studied on to this topic and stayed true to the nature of the book instead of wording it as a modern retelling despite it taking place in Old England. But for me, the wording kind of threw me off. It kind of confused me. So while I respect it, it kind of wasn't my thing either. Now, the pros and cons of this book. I feel like the only pro, really, which is kind of a con, was, again, the writing style, the wording, the Old English. But other than that, there were no real pros to this book. Cons. Again, the writing style is kind of a pro and con, but a big con I felt with this book was the background characters. And big emphasis on background because, honey, they were background people. At first, throughout the book, it kind of feels like they're going to have a personality, a presence. They are going to be in Micah and Thomas's life, kind of leading them to the right path and all this. They have lives of their own. And honestly, I thought we were kind of going to delve into those through Micah or Thomas, especially as Thomas kind of opens up to his people in this small town that he preaches to. But no. We don't get that. They literally are there, it feels like, for a few seconds. And then, poof, gone. Non-existent. Even more present characters, like Thomas' older twin brother, don't play a very big role in this book. At one point, Micah comes out to a member of the town, and that's it. There is no further conversation between the two. At first, there's a little bit of a conversation, but after that, there isn't really one. It's kind of vague. It really gives a new, very thick meaning to background character. The characters all fell flat, along with Micah and Thomas. I don't know why the background characters were even there. Honestly, they could have not been there. This could have been a story of two people alone, with everyone else just being townspeople. Giving them names and slight personalities felt like a waste of space on the page, and really felt like it was a need to, I don't know, increase the page number without actually giving us any information that was valuable on any of these characters. Now, that wasn't the only con, though. Another big con I have is there were certain plots that didn't go anywhere, both with the side characters and the main characters. I really hate that when the author gives us some plots or storytelling that sound interesting, but then they don't go anywhere. They kind of just stay flat. They don't take us anywhere. They're just kind of there, and it's left to the imagination of the reader what happens next in this character's life, or, what would have happened if these main characters had gone down this path or that path, they had brought this up or that up, when really they should have been bringing this up. Again, when Thomas finds out about Micah's past, he never confronts him about it. He never brings it up. And he kind of glosses over it very quickly, despite the initial finding out being this moment for Thomas. He quickly buries it into his own memory. And that's the end of it. That is the end of Micah's past to Thomas. And it really gave willingly blindness. He was willing to be ignorant in this situation. And it was really dumb of Thomas, honestly. But yeah, that was just, it really sucked, honestly. I hated it. First off, who would enjoy this book? I don't know. This is the first book I've read that I would honestly say I don't know who would enjoy this. I'm sure someone out there would. And if you enjoyed this book, no hate towards you. I'm sure there was something about it you liked. Maybe you loved all of it. Either way, it's fine. But to me, I can't figure out anyone who would enjoy this book. And mind you, in the past, when I had books that I didn't like that I've reviewed, I could still find someone that would like the book. Not with Never After. So, yeah. Would I recommend this book? Absolutely not. I hate this book. This book was absolutely terrible. And I hate to use that word hate. Such a strong negative word. But I'll put it this way. I strongly dislike this book in a respectful manner. Or disrespectful, whatever you want to put it. I think Alexis Hall is a good author because I have read something from them in the past. I know I enjoyed it, which is why I followed them on Amazon. And then it came up, hey, this author is releasing something new. I bought the book and I didn't care for it. But I do know Alexis Hall is a very good author. So yeah. I wouldn't recommend this book. I would give it a strong pass. And rating-wise, this is going to be our first 1 out of 5 Rainbow Hearts. It was not good. I absolutely hated it. And yeah, was not my thing whatsoever. So don't recommend. Don't read this book. It was terrible. Now, before you go, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed what you heard. And also, don't forget, like I said, to subscribe, because I love doing these book reviews. And hopefully you enjoy these book reviews, or maybe well enjoy them if you don't know the rest of the channel. I'm Rainbow Hearts Villain Thoughts, and this is what I do. I review gay romance books. Typically, I'm more positive. I'm more positive in this situation, but this one I'm not. So yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments down below. Let me know, is Never After a pickup or put down for you? And that could be based off other reviews as well. I'm fine with that. And I do recommend you to look up different reviews on a single book, whether it's a book I've reviewed or other people have reviewed instead, because obviously people's opinions are going to differ. Just like yours may differ from my opinion on this book, which is fine. But let me know in the comments if you want to read this book or not. And let me know if you have read the book. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it just a neutral feeling for you? I would love to know what you guys think of Never After by Alexis Hall. Now that'll be it for this video. Stay safe and keep reading. Bye.